The Latte King, as they call him, the Wiz. He's always pumping coffees into you. Hello, Wiz.
How you going, gentlemen?
Yeah,
Hello,
good to have you,
Jeff.
mate. It's Carlos tonight, Barris here, and good to have you on the show. And Eddie loves getting those coffees into you, mate. You're very...
Well, I haven't seen him for a while, which is probably good for me.
Exactly.
But, mate, I mean, in the end, I think in one sitting we almost had 50 coffees, and I was still trying to tell him no when he kept trying to get them, but he kept trying to force them down my throat.
Finally get some sleep. Now, mate, 2 wins in a row. I went to Bali, and you guys weren't going that well, and I come back and you've had 2 wins in a row. What happened? What was the turning point, you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's just been great for the football club. Obviously it's been a tough year to be able to get 2 wins on the trot. It's been fantastic. I mean, we basically played teams that are sort of around the same position on the ladder, and you know, to be able to beat those teams, I mean, in the end, obviously it gives you confidence. The morale has been high, whilst you know, we haven't been able to get the results we wanted. But you know, it's just pleasing for the team and also for our supporters.
All those games you should have, could have, I know they're all words we use, Jeff, when you lose, but all those games that you should have and could have won, you must be kicking yourself now, because when you have a look at, and I just said it before, the Kangaroos have won 9 games out of 17, they're sitting in 5th spot.
Yeah, I know. I mean, in the end, it's obviously frustrating, you know, disappointing. I mean, you keep on harping on about it, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change the result. We are where we are. You know, we've got 5 more games to, you know, try and get something out of, which has been a very tough and disappointing year. You know, we've been able to blood some very good young quality players, which will hold us in good stead in the future.
Jeff, it doesn't take much, and this is what I said to Barry off the top of the program, given the way the season's panned out, it doesn't take much to actually make the 8, does it? And it wouldn't take much to turn around both of our clubs here in the West.
Yeah, I think in the end what's obviously been disappointing for both clubs is that we haven't been able to, you know, get off to a good start at the start of the season and win, you know, those close games as well. You look at a few of the teams that are in the 8, you know, they've been able to get, you know, a few games, you know, off to a very good start, 5 to 6 wins on the trot, and, you know, they're sort of struggling at the moment. But, I mean, if you look at sort of 8 games, which, you know, we've lost by, you know, 3 goals or less. I mean, if you take those into account, well, then we're in the 8, you know, but it just hasn't worked out the way we wanted.
And losing, from your point of view, at Fremantle anyway, and West Coast have had their injury problems as well with key personnel, but losing Hayes and Des Headland and Roger Hayden, you know, they've been out for large parts of the season, which not too many people talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's been hard, you know, tough to be able to get, you know, a settled team week in, week out. But I mean, at the end of the day, all teams, you know, sometimes go through injuries or bad runs. I mean, in the end, can't make excuses. You know, it's just unfortunate we haven't been able to get a result.
So, Jeffrey, what's happening with you in terms of your position on the field? Because it looks like you've been playing in the midfield a bit, on the wing on the weekend. What's the coach said to you?
Yeah, just a little bit over. You know, we basically in the forward line up, but on the weekend I was able to get up on the wing and have a run around. It sort of just changes it up, mate. Adds another string to the bow in terms of being able to get out of the forward pocket, which is, you know, a pretty tough position to play, especially when you've got, you know, key forwards down there in Taz and Pav. You know, and then they mark more than what they drop, so it's pretty hard to try and get, you know, some opportunities. But to be able to get up, run around, has been good.
Do you like playing in the midfield? How's your tank? You know, can you run the game out? How do you find it?
Of course, it's like a one-way street, mate. I can only run one way, and that's when we got the ball. Look, I mean, in the end, it's, you know, you've got to be able to read the play and be smart. You know, sometimes you find that when you try and make the play and try and get on the end by pushing forward, I mean, if you don't hit your targets and the ball gets turned over, you get found out. So, I mean, those are the things that you learn, you know, and basically you've just got to make sure you be smart, read the play, and don't get too carried away.
Well, where I find you most dangerous is when you're inside that attacking 50, but you spend large parts outside of it now, Jeff. Is it just impossible now to stay at home, given the way that teams play this zoning and flooding and all of that?
Yeah, I think, I mean, our team has probably had, you know, a fair bit of that done to us, with opposition teams flooding and making it a bit hard for us to move the ball with position. But in the end, you know, you've basically got to do what you have to do to try and help, you know, contribute. And basically, found myself at times outside the 50, which makes it pretty hard for myself, but, easy for defenders that are playing on me. So I've got to be able to do what needs to be done, to still be able to get inside the 50 and be dangerous.
Well, mate, Shawnee Mack retires, the last of the originals. It's going to be a big game for the Dockers.
Yeah, well, it's a sellout as well, so, it's going to be a great opportunity for Sean to play his last game in front of the home crowd, and also, for the supporters to be able to say goodbye to, a favourite son that's given his heart and soul to the football club. And no doubt after, the game's finished, the realisation that Sean won't be around is, going to be pretty hard to take as well.
Were you at his press conference by any chance?
Yeah, I didn't hear him say that swear word. But
What about the dropping of the F word? I mean, that was an absolute classic, wasn't it? No one's done that before, Jeff.
No, I'm actually pretty pleased that they actually put a beep in there as well. So,
were you shocked when that sort of came out?
Yeah, mate, we didn't know. I actually tried to whisper to the other boys, did he swear? I thought I was actually hearing things, but he did drop the F word, and I think in the end we've all been guilty of that, but we haven't actually said it in front of
the kids.
A big crowd, and in front of the kids as well, which wasn't too good.
It looked like the kids had heard it before.
Yeah, he didn't blink, did he?
He didn't say boo. Mate, you're going beautifully. So the Derby this weekend, of course, is Sunday. Carl reckons it's flat as a tack in the lead up to it. What about from your perspective?
Yeah, basically you just try and play it down. Obviously it's built up as a very big game. Two teams have come off good wins as well, so it's going to add a bit of spice. But both clubs are very, very proud, and no doubt they'll give 100% on the weekend, and hopefully we can do enough to get the 4 points.
What about Pav, mate? Is he going to be fit?
Yeah, I think you'd be right. Obviously he was a late withdrawal, but no doubt he might be able to get back in with a winning combination down there, so he might find it a little bit hard. He might have to go back to East Fremantle and have a game.
He played East Fremantle, does he?
That's his waffle club, yeah.
Now, how would you know? And what about the Eagles, mate? Where do you think they're travelling? They had a good win against the Saints.
Yeah, basically, they're obviously disappointed with their season, but they've blooded a lot of good young players as well that'll hold them in good stead. Quinton Lynch also, ran around the midfield and added another dimension for their team, and they've got a lot of dangerous guys that if you don't pay respect like young Ebert, that can be very, very damaging.